Hey, go-getters! I was thinking we should be go-getters or get-goers. I don't know, go-getters. Have you ever been called a go-getter? My dad used to call me a go-getter when I was a little girl sometimes because I was busy doing stuff and getting into activities and usually, sometimes getting into trouble. But today is day 19 of our Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Dream 100. We brought it up yesterday, I brought it up, and if you haven't heard of the concept, I really encourage you to embrace this. This has been the most powerful thing in terms of my online success. And I guess I was inadvertently doing it offline, and I didn't even realize it when I had offline businesses. I was using this strategy, and I'd never heard of it, and I didn't really know what it was. But it worked and it was successful, so I was automatically doing it even though I didn't have a name to it. And it wasn't until I came online and entered the Russell Brunson world of ClickFunnels and things that I heard it called the Dream 100. And it's a good name for it because it's a clear, concise way of communicating a concept, a system to people through one word. And I love things like that, right? And we don't all have the exact same definition of it, but we're getting closer, right? It's not like beauty where everybody has their own definition of it. Dream 100, more and more people are getting the same or a similar, not the same, but a similar definition, a similar way of implementing the Dream 100 process. So today I want to talk about your Dream 100 plan, and I'll share my Dream 100 plan with you and some of the things that I've done that have been really, really successful in work and some that have been epic failures. Now, one of the biggest mistakes you can make with the Dream 100 is just making the list and then starting to ask those people for something, right? Looking to get something instead of giving something first. One of our core principles and core values, excuse me, as business owners should always be to give a ton of value and serve first, right? We serve first. I think it's fascinating that people resist sharing their information and giving value as if no one else on the planet knows what they know. I think it's pretty arrogant and egotistical to think that anything I know is secret or proprietary, because guess what? It's not. Everything that we know has come to us through experiences and learning and lessons learned, and we can repackage it up and share it with people to help them to have discoveries and epiphanies faster for themselves. But the truth is, there's very little that hasn't been known before or come before in some way, shape, or form. Pretty much all the universal laws have been around since the universe has been around, right? Yet it's repackaged, reshared, reimagined, renamed, recreated multiple times by different people, as it should be, because each of us conveys information in a way that other people can relate to and some other people can't. I have heard some of the same concepts and the same personal development phrases and things for decades, yet I didn't apply many of them until somebody, like maybe it might have been the 12th time I'd heard it or the 50th time or the 1000th time I'd heard it, that it impacted me and I actually said, oh, I get this, I hear this now. Because we don't hear things until we're ready. We don't see things until we are willing and able to see them. It's just the way we're wired as human beings. We filter out way more of the world because otherwise we die of overstimulation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, have you ever gone on the internet to look for something and then realized that hours had gone by because you've gone down all these different rabbit holes? You went on there to answer a specific question. I remember when the internet first came into being, I was working at, I don't remember where I was working. I was probably working, I don't remember. I was working in corporate America though, and I had businesses on the side. I had 2 little kids, and I was married and super duper busy. Yet I was so fascinated by the internet that I remember there were a couple of nights that I discovered the internet and I was like so enamored. I stayed up all night long on the internet because I had gone down these rabbit holes and got no sleep. It was like college, pulling all-nighters because I was so excited about this internet thing. And it was amazing to me that so much information was available at our fingertips. This was like when the internet first came into being. So we can get down those rabbit holes and we want to be careful about that. But if you've ever done that, you know what I'm talking about. So Dream 100 action plan. I got a little off tangent there. Let's talk about what and how you're going to do. My first question for you is, do you personally have an online presence? Do you have social media accounts? What is your favorite social media account? Which social media platform are you most familiar with? And then as a business, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or want to be business owner or entrepreneur, do you already have an online component to your business, or do you have an online business? Share those things in the comments below, because that helps me to know where we're all coming from. Whether you have an online business or not, whether you have a component to your business that's online or not, now is the time in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic to create one. I think I've been trying to get offline businesses to have an online component for the last couple of years, and I wish I had been able to serve and help more people up to this point, because I think that a lot more businesses would be in a better position had they developed their online presence. But it's never too late, right? It's like thinking that you've missed an opportunity. We've never missed an opportunity. We just don't take advantage of the opportunity until it's right for us. Right now is the time that it's right for every one of us as individuals and as businesses or entrepreneurs or solopreneurs or people that want to have a job but a business on the side, whatever your situation. And I've been telling people this for years too. Everyone should have a business on the side, even if we want to work in corporate America, or even if we want to have jobs or whatever profession we want to do. We should still have some side business, some side gig that helps to support us for all the things that we want to do and experience in life, and to give us that sense of confidence and freedom that we also deserve. So D100 can help us do that. So my first question is, do you have an online component or online presence? Yes or no? And if not, we're going to all create one. I'm telling you right now, we're going to all make sure that we have one and create one, because guess what? That is the fastest, easiest way to reach your people and to reach your D100, which have the people that you want to reach, right? So yesterday we made our list of 10 D100 people. We're just going to talk about the first 10 people that you listed, or podcasts, blogs, whatever, because behind each podcast or blog, there's a human being, a person, right? It's like this fallacy that we have B2B businesses, business to business, or B2C, business to consumer. Guess what? Every B has a C, a consumer, a person behind it. It's all people, right? It's all relationship. And the number one mistake people make when they're doing their D100 is they just go in for the kill. It's like, if you're on social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Somebody sends you a friend request, you accept the friend request, and they immediately message you about their opportunity, their business, their what it is that they do, and can you get on a free call with them or a 15-minute call with them. LinkedIn has gotten rampant with that, and that's because there's gurus out teaching, hey, here's a strategy you use to interact with people on LinkedIn and to get new customers. I hate it because that they're teaching people. It's like what I learned in network marketing that caused me to hate and quit network marketing was the do it this way, this is the way it's always been done, and it's a big spammy, scammy way of approaching people. It's dishonest, it's unethical, and it's wrong, and it feels crappy. If it feels crappy to you, it's not right for you. That's how I was trained to do network marketing, and why I love the network marketing industry from a personal development standpoint. I hate it from the whole friends and family approach. It's bogus. I have been in business for 47 years, and I am trying to think if my family has really ever been a customer. They were customers, free customers for my Italian food business for decades, but never have they gone out and really been a customer. Sometimes for other organizations and things, they buy the products, but for the most part, friends and family are not a part of any of my businesses. And I don't even know if they knew what I did in corporate America for over a quarter century. And I think they knew what some of my businesses did, but a lot of them, my family had no idea, right? And that's just the way it is. So why would we expect in any industry like network marketing for our friends and family to want to be involved? So I hate that, and I hate that we would ask people for something before we give them any value, or before we even know if what we have to offer is for them. Every single day on social media, I get hit up with dozens and dozens of offers for stuff that I absolutely positively don't need. And if someone took 2 seconds to look at my profile or to look at my About Me section, they would know that I don't need that, right? And so they wouldn't offer it to me, because every time somebody does that, I don't consciously do it, but on a subconscious level, I just lose a little bit of respect for them, because I know that they're being lazy and they didn't even take the time to find out if I'm the right person for their business or their offer. And sometimes people will come do that with an offer of something that I really could need, but I don't want to do business with them because the way they first approach me. The same is true of our Dream 100. We need to be careful and conscious about how we really approach people. Are we approaching them because we just want them to do something for us? Or are we approaching them from the standpoint that we're curious about them, we want to know more about them, and we want to find a way that we can serve them in order to form a mutually beneficial type of relationship? And I'm going to emphasize the word relationship because people do business with people they like. People form partnerships. They do joint ventures. They have affiliate programs. They do alliances with people that they like, right? So you have to make sure that your Dream 100 people are going to in some way, shape, or form like or appreciate you. Now, a lot of different strategies you can use to approach your Dream 100 people. And the people, let's just talk about your top 10 people. So you made a list of 10 people or podcasts, because again, there's a person doing that podcast. You want to find out about that person. The best, fastest, easiest way to find out about people is to find them on social media. Find them on the different platforms. If you don't know where they are, go look. You can do this in just a few minutes, right? You can, it's not hard to find anybody. Google the person or the podcast or whatever and find out who's behind it, and then start following that person. Follow them on social media. That's step one. Read their posts, comment on their posts, comment and like and share the things that they do that you really like and you want to share with the people that you're creating a community for. I think we'll talk about that. I just thought about that. Tomorrow I think we're going to talk about the importance of creating your own community in your own place on a platform, and not just within your business and email. So we need to find a way to contact and just start building relationships with these people. The first thing is research, right? You need to find out about them so you find out what's important to them. It doesn't matter what's important to you, that you want to build a big following or a big email list or a big business. They couldn't care less, right? Because there's nothing in it for them for you to build your business, right? We all are internally motivated, and if somebody says, I want you to promote me on your podcast because it'll build my business, well, yeah, good for you. You know what? Find somebody else to promote you on your podcast. What can you bring to my audience? I'm talking specifically because I have a podcast. What can you bring to my audience that I would want, that would benefit them? And most people that are influencers or that have a platform, they are concerned about adding value to their audience. So one of the quickest, easiest ways for you to get in well and build a relationship with your Dream 100 category is by finding a way to provide value to them. If you have an audience of people, like I don't even know what I'm up to for downloads on my podcast, but it's probably close to 70,000. I can bring thousands of people to somebody that I interview on my podcast. So that's appealing for somebody to come on my podcast because they can now reach thousands of people that they wouldn't have been able to reach otherwise. And the same is true. If you don't have an audience, if you don't have anything to offer, maybe you have an expertise on a topic that you could talk about that would appeal to their audience, right? So get creative with this. Think of how you can serve them as you're learning more about them. And I asked about, do you have an online presence? Because it's easier to connect with people if you do have some sort of online presence. But if you're not on social media yet, now I say this because my daughter is anti-social media. One of my sisters is anti-social media. My mom is not really on social media. So there's people even close to me that are not on the internet, are on social media at all. We did a Zoom call. It was really fun. Friday night we did a wine and beer Zoom call with my family in like 5 states, which was really, really fun because we haven't been able to see each other or get together for anything or holidays or anything lately. So we did, like, it ended up being a 4-hour Zoom call. Zoom lifted the time limit because COVID-19, and I thought we'd be on for like 45 minutes, and then I got the message, oh, because of COVID-19, we've lifted the time limit on Zoom calls. So we were actually on as a family for 4 hours, and some dropped off and some came on, and it was just really amazing. And we talked about, we're going to do that every week. Once a week, we're going to have a family Zoom call just to kind of touch base, check in with each other, see how we can help each other out with ideas and things to keep ourselves active and busy, because some of us are working with little kids. I've got a 4-year-old granddaughter that I'm with all week, and my nephew has a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old at home. So it's fun to find out what kind of things they're doing. And they're actually in the military, so they can take her to daycare the 4-year-old during the week while the 7-year-old's being homeschooled. So it's really, everybody's situation's different. So we want to build relationships with these people. Now, more than ever, is a perfect time to get on social media and find out what's important to the people that you want to connect with. And I guarantee that because of COVID-19, there are going to be shifts and changes in who is and isn't an influencer for the group that you want to create going forward. Because a lot of influencers, a lot of people that were really big online have really pulled themselves in and aren't showing up. It's the people that are showing up every day and how they're showing up, or at least consistently once or twice a week, or even once a week, and you know that that's when they're going to be showing up somewhere on social media. They're the people that it's easier to find out information about and follow. I laugh whenever, you know, one bad thing about social media is people always hit you up from the opposite sex, at least when you're single or divorced or something, which I find really, really super annoying, FYI, anyone. I find it super annoying, super disrespectful, and just really lazy, especially when, tell me something about yourself. Really? I've got over 2,800 videos online on YouTube and all over social media. If you want to know anything about me, watch one of my videos. And if you can't even watch one of my videos to find out if you'd even want to know anything about me or say anything about me, please do not contact me, right? It's not that hard. It's really easy nowadays to find out and learn about people and find out what's important to them before you ask them for anything. And find out about them, research, figure out how you can serve them and give value to them, and then think about making contact. Now, providing value and serving them doesn't have to involve money. It does have to involve an investment of at least your time in terms of following, liking, commenting on the things that they put out there into the world. I guarantee if you are commenting regularly on an influencer's content, no matter who that influencer is, at some point someone will take notice. A lot of influencers, inside secret, do not manage their own social media accounts, right? They have people that manage them. But if you're showing up consistently, if you're commenting, if you're engaging, if you're sharing their content, the person managing their account will notice, and they understand the value of that, because that is giving value to them. It increases their status, it increases their engagement, it increases their reach in ways that they probably wouldn't be able to do on their own. And that does rise to the top, just like cream rises to the top, and people do take notice. So make sure that you're doing those things. What can you do? And again, with email, you could send them something of value. Don't just email them and say, hey, I want to be on your podcast, or hey, unless you can say, I want to be on your podcast because this is what I can provide to your audience. Do that. That'd be awesome. This is what I'd love to share with your audience. I think they'd love it because of this. And that's because you've gone and you've listened to a couple of their episodes, and so you know what type guests they have. You know what type of information they're sharing with their audience. You've done your homework, right? The other thing I just want to talk about briefly that I think is really, really powerful, and I learned this, a long time ago in the real estate industry. One thing that my ex-husband and I did to find and communicate and get the attention of people that we wanted to do business with was we sent them something called lumpy mail. And we would put little weird things into the envelope to make sure the envelope was lumpy. Because I don't know about you, but to me, when something lumpy comes in the mail, a package or lumpy or FedEx stuff or anything, I am personally going to open that. I want to know what's in that lumpy mail. Now, a lot of marketers are sending lumpy mail these days, but people are at home right now, right? They're stuck at home. If you send a lumpy mail package or a little gift or an activity, once you've researched and you find out what's important to them, if you mail something cool that you know is of interest to them, that will get their attention. My granddaughter likes to watch this Super Cooper Sunday YouTube thing, and this Chelsea and Trevor, they get hundreds and hundreds of packages for their dogs and now their cat every couple of months because of people sending them gifts for their animals to get their attention. People send it to show their appreciation for the value they get out of their entertainment, but also to get their attention. That would be the kind of thing that you could do. But if they're getting hundreds and hundreds of them, you're gonna have to really find a way to stand out, right? But lumpy mail phone calls, right? Calling people and asking how you can help, or providing value, or sharing your expertise would be another example of how you can give value, be of service to an influencer before you ask them for anything. One of my favorite stories is Russell Brunson courted Tony Robbins for 10 years before he ever asked him to participate in one of his marketing things. And prior to that even, he did a whole funnel, he did a whole promotion, let's say a sales promotion, excuse me, for his book for free. He gave tons of value. He attended his workshops, and his wife, and they attended, Tony's workshops, Tony's events, and they, he found ways that he could be of service for Tony Robbins before he ever asked him for anything. That's what we need to do with everyone on our Dream 100 list. So today, what's your action item? Our action item is to pick at least 3 people of your top 10 and in some way, shape, or form, research and find out where you can interact with them. Again, remember, it might not be them on social media, but you can still start commenting, sharing. Look for where they are, what appears to be their best favorite platform, and that should be the one place that you start interacting with them. The second thing to look for is, do they have any groups or pages or events and things that they're holding? Mostly it'll be virtual events now, which is even easier. Do they have programs and services and products that you can buy and experience for yourself and leave a testimonial for? One of the fastest, easiest ways to get in front of somebody is to actually leave them a video testimonial. I know some people are afraid to do video, but guess what? Get over it, especially if you want to be showing up in a bigger way and interacting with your Dream 100. If they have a podcast, watch their podcast, but do something for the top 3 people on your Dream 100 list today, and share in the comments below 1 or 2 things that you learned from that exercise. If you want to, really get going on this, do the top 10. Find out where they are. Do a little research on them. I actually, I've gotten lazy about it, but I used to keep a spreadsheet where I would keep information on my Dream 100. And now I've done Dream 100 for myself in different categories and helped other teams do it. And it just got overwhelming. So I stopped keeping it on a spreadsheet of my own. But I might go back to that as I'm moving into a different direction. So I'm going to do this assignment 2 today and Dream 100 myself some research. But I've been kind of doing that on an ongoing basis for about 2 years now. So I've been working my Dream 100. That's how I formed and did a partnership. Heather Ann Haven with the Sexy Boss, which is really funny, with Pajama Grandma, and I last year, we did a 90-day YouTube challenge together, and that's how you get and do and form relationships like that. I had done a couple things for her first. We've been Facebook friends for like 9 years or 10 years, I think. 9 years at the time, and she was looking for somebody to help her out with something, and I happened to be online when she asked. Whoop, there goes the purple duck. And it worked out great because we both got to help each other, and that formed a more tight relationship because we had talked on video and done some things versus me just following and watching her and vice versa for years. All of a sudden an opportunity came up and she knew who I was and I knew who she was, and she called me up and said, hey, I want to do a challenge. You want to do it with me? You're the challenge gal, because she had been in a summit of mine earlier that year. So win-win, right? But it's all about building relationships. It's not about asking and expecting people to do things for you when there's nothing in it for them. And it's never about the money. I haven't said this yet. Never approach someone who is successful and say, well, I'd like to do this for your audience and we'll split the profits 50-50, or I'll let you be an affiliate. Guess what? It's not about the money. Once you get to a certain point, it's never about the money. It's about the impact and your audience and the influence. And influencers, I'm super protective of my audience, and I don't have a huge one, but that's why I'm super protective of them. So the people I'll put in front of them, I'm very careful about. I'm not going to put anybody in front of them that I don't think is going to benefit them. And every other influencer on the planet, every other person on your Dream 100 list feels the same way. And if they don't, maybe they shouldn't be on your Dream 100 list. Just saying. That's it. Have an absolutely amazing day. If I can help you in any way, or you have questions about this strategy or plan, or coming up with your Dream 100 plan, ask in the comments below, because I've done a lot of them, and I know that whatever question you have, we can answer. Take care. Have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow for day 20 of our Get Up and Go challenge. Get up, go do it. Bye.